Yahusha's royal laws of love are how he's operated from the very beginning. Everything's in love. From outside of time and space, he's always desired to be close and intimate with his chosen people, reaching into our sphere time after time through numerous signs, wonders, shadows, and instructions, which are all just a little piece of the puzzle, but which all point to his transitioned victory. All these signs, wonders, shadows, instructions, Torahs, tokens, everything that we were told to do, all the ancient Hebrews and everything that I were told to do, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, Moses, all of them, they're pointing, all of it pointing to Yahuah transitioning, his transitioned victory in becoming flesh and conquering sin and death with all its entrapments and empty fleshly Torahs. Yahushua is Elohim on the throne, and the only one who delivers us through a divine heart operation, allowing us to connect with him intimately. And when you are, you know it. You know when you're connecting with him intimately and when you're not. The goal has always been to receive a personal encounter with him, an experience that will forever leave us changed. A divine love so wonderfully intoxicating that no words, no knowledge, no language translations or barriers, no culture, no customs or apparent requirements by men, none of it stands in the way of knowing him and clinging to his love. When we know Yahushua, we hear him, we feel him, we see him everywhere. So much so that reading his word becomes such a joy. Not just an obligation or a fact-finding expedition. He gives us so much love for him in our new hearts that we don't want to sin. We don't even want to focus on ourselves. But instead, we want to walk in Yahusha's real behaviour of love daily. It's a real behaviour. You don't just talk about it. It's something you've got to do. Actively decide, consciously know that you're doing it. So we must be transitioned as he was, and willing to put off anything for the sake of others, which in turn matures us into the bride he desires. In this earthly garden of carnal pleasures, there are so many mindsets and systems and laws. Yet, Yahushua declared that we are to throw off everything that gets in our way and run to his love. Didn't it say that in the scriptures? That's the most important thing, the goal, the fulfillment of all, everything, the Torah, all of it. We're to run to his love, throw off everything and run to his love, to actually know him and hear his voice. And when he speaks to us, it's in whatever language we understand easiest. In our head. Whatever language you were brought up in and you know in your head, that's the language he speaks to you in. He's simple. He's that wonderful and willing to open all the doors of truth to us, if we're listening and sold over to whatever step he has next for us. You're willing to go in whatever direction he leads you in? This is a heavenly spiritual journey. It's all supernatural. It's a heavenly spiritual journey. His reign is not of this world. It originated from another dimension. All of this came from heaven. But it's going on privately and personally within you and within me. No matter what race, creed, age, status, culture, Yahushua wants you and has shed his blood in order to raise up his new covenant with you. It's a new covenant. It's based on far better signs, far better commands, far better promises, all about love. You see, he's so marvelously intelligent and cool that he's made his new covenant royal laws the only thing that no man or woman can fake. You can't fake it. You can talk the talk and you can pretend and you can present yourself in different ways and perform different ways. You cannot fake this love. The behavior of love consistently all the time You can't fake it. You think you are, but you're deluded. You cannot fake it when it's his real supernatural love. Because it's from another dimension. It's from another realm. His love, his reign is not of this world. Nothing you do in this world, you can't find that love anywhere. Doesn't matter what you do. You can offer yourself up to your body. You can cut limbs off your body. You can do anything to your body to be burned. It's nothing. You still won't have the love, because the love is not of this world. Unwise maidens, weeds, goats, full of leaven and sin, and ancient carnal Torah laws, they cannot know him. Cannot know him, but are outside of him. That was one of the scriptures we ended on. Outside are all the dogs and those who love lawlessness. They think they're doing the law, but it's all in this realm. They cannot know him. They're outside of him, knowing him in name only. They just know his name. The concept of daily sacrificing and offering up the sinful self to the fire of his altar, so that we may be burned and shine brighter for him, that's completely foreign to them. Those that worship the Father, the Yahuah only doctrine, they can't even see this experience. For when we cross over, this is interesting, because this is how we know we're chosen. We've got to go through the transition. When we cross over, when we transition into the spiritual concept of a chosen Hebrew, not the literal concept, not becoming a literal Hebrew, back to a bloodline or a lineage or anything like that. When we cross over into the spiritual concept of a chosen Hebrew, which today you would call his elect bride, because that's who we are, his elect bride. So only when we cross over and transition into the spiritual concept of a chosen Hebrew will we reach the final consummation in his loving kindness. Only when we cross over into that. And our identity is truly found in his love as a new Melchizedek priest. This mindset is all about love. That's where our identity is found. That's how we know we're in him. He's our anchor. Because in his love, we're his new Melchizedek priests. It's not found, our identity is not found in returning to a natural born lineage or Torah shadows. For even Abraham, the first Hebrew to cross over, even Abraham's obsession and focus was on the city whose builder and maker is Elohim Yahushua. And Yahushua, he's bypassed all of them. He said, come on guys, bypass all those. He's bypassed all of them to reach out his hand of kindness to you. So do you understand how to transition? We're not transitioning into the literal, figurative, earthly, fleshly, national Yisrael of the flesh, no, of which Abraham was the father. He's our father spiritually, but it's a spiritual concept. You've got to look at this. It's all metaphors and parables. You've got to spiritually transition. Therefore, let's look at the conclusion. Therefore, it is the conclusion of this first study on love that all scripture is to be interpreted abstractly, not literally, interpreted abstractly with the goal of transforming our bodily temples into living dwellings of his loving kindness. For all other wisdom, knowledge, customs, instructions, behaviors, it's all useless stumbling blocks employed by the enemy of our quest as a confusion, distraction, and hindrance to us finding and keeping. He doesn't want us. The enemy doesn't want us to find the love, and when we found it, to keep it. Keep the love all day, every day. And the only way we can do that is by arresting our thoughts always, because he's in there trying to take. He knows if we can give us thoughts and we believe them and let him in our heart, what we think, we become. As a man thinks in his heart, he will become, he will behave, and our behavior can take us out of his presence. And that's why he's at us. But out in the wilderness, where the bride's been whisked out 3.5 years in the wilderness, end of times, we're protected from the dragon and his spew. Is your love for Yahushua Elohim and others bubbling and boiling over? Or is your time and your focus and your study and your thoughts and your everything, thoughts and plans, is that far more important? Are you bubbling over for other people? Only by actively doing this behaviour of loving kindness will we be found good and faithful servants, obedient to all Torah laws and the prophets.